And he has sent over a couple of songs. Well, he sent me over a couple of your live performances that you do on YouTube, and I have picked out a couple of songs to include on the episode here. The first one
Oh,
is called Lost in Hollywood. So tell us a little bit about this song.
well, that song is actually based on a true story. Like a lot of people, uh, I don't know. My creative boomer parents, I guess, did the best they could, but I found that I lacked some coping skills into my 20s, and maybe some diagnoses that were missing, and
Yeah,
I was doing a lot of self medicating
of
in
course.
the 90s. Excuse me, and so uh, this culminated. It was sort of getting worse, and I kind of knew I was headed to maybe a point where I needed to get some help with it. For one thing, I was no stranger to recovery. My own father got sober in 1979,
Yeah.
and um, I grew up around things like, the 12 step programs and stuff. I was no stranger to those. So it's like I didn't know. It was just that, you always think maybe I can get by with it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll calm down.
You'll be the first one to
I'll
beat
meet
it,
it.
right? To be able to live
I'll,
with it. Yeah.
I'll meet a nice girl who can change me, all that. Um, none of that worked out. I had just turned 27, and I'm helping with a mutual friend. I'm helping another friend of ours move from Nashville to Southern California. Me and the other mutual friend who is not moving drive the U-Haul with the car, one of the cars on a
Hmm.
trailer out there for
Yeah.
them. We get out there. My father at this point is living in L.A. and we decide, we'll unload it, and then we'll take the U-Haul into LA, visit him a couple of days, and fly out. So that was the plan, and it happened. We were going to be there right on his birthday, which was July 12th. We just did that,
Hmm.
and um, my dad was kind of a day sleeper, and we were up pretty early and on still Central Time sleep schedules and whatnot, and we got up and started looking around. We wandered around Old Vera Street. We're just hanging out. Ended up eating lunch somewhere, and we start day drinking. Well, I that it just got out of hand from there. We
Yeah.
ended up meeting up with some other friends in Hollywood, and go to a couple of bars. And I'm just out of hand at this point. I have no stop in me once I start. And so I end up separated from them. I get some weird wild hair to just go on this LA walkabout, and I did, which lasted all night. I wound up way, way off the beaten path, like walked all the way to Larchmont Village. I wound up catching a bus as the sun was coming up, and got off at the wrong end of downtown. I'm wandering around downtown trying to get back to Chinatown. I'm still drunk to starting to maybe even be hungover, and so that song was really just my, poetic telling of that story. I walked up on the hotel in Chinatown where we were staying, right as my father was about to take my other friend, whose name was also Steve, to the airport so he could continue to try to figure out where I was. I think he was sure I was dead. I mean, for
Right.
real, and was just like bracing himself to deal with all that. And here I come stumbling up, disheveled and hungover, and ready to go to the airport. So I came home. I think it took a few days to really sink in what I had sort of put other people through as much as
Yeah.
myself,
Yeah. Just trying to give yourself
And
inspiration, right?
I guess, to be fair, it did. It
Yeah.
did lead to
Sure
a
did.
pretty long period of sobriety for me. That was the last straw. I didn't drink for about 9 years. I did work the program. I did do the steps. I did a lot of internal work. Once I did sort of experiment with alcohol again, I realized that I had to be careful, but I drank very differently after that time off and that inside work
Yeah.
than I had in my 20s,
Well,
and I don't at all anymore. I've put it back down just because I got old and it doesn't feel good
yeah. It
anymore,
doesn't work quite the way it used to, does it?
No, no.
Man, we're excited to show the song. It's a live version of Lost in Hollywood. Y'all check it out. Jubal Lee Young on the Boston Chris podcast.
of the universe, blowing through the desert like a Pharaoh's curse. Man, the city of angels rarely lives up to its name. It's odd how in movie town you can't see the stars, but you just might see the light down on the boulevard. When you're feeling invisible, sometimes you yank your own chain. I was hell-bent for the limits of the bottle and the bar. I was pushing all the boundaries too hard and too far, till some star-walk beauty said she wanted to take me home. I said, honey, I ain't sure like what that is. She said, that's okay, this is strictly biz. Now don't you think I must be after your money, cause you're fresh out of charm. And I knew right from the start that the LA freeway ain't for the faint of heart. And kids understood that it can't be good to be broken down and lost in Hollywood. So I took off into the night, I melted into the break. I wandered in circles, which was my favorite trick. I was a clown for a killer who let me live for the smile put on his face. I was walking wounded in self-waged war. I couldn't even remember what I was fighting for. But I fought till I woke with the dawn of the corner, Franklin and Grace. And I knew right from the start that the LA freeway ain't for the faint of heart. And kids understood that it can't be good to be broken down and lost in Hollywood. Hopped a plane, I got the hell out of Dodge. The truth was no longer a distant mirage. I had to get right within my very soul. If it was the heavens parting or a delicate whisper, it didn't matter to me too much, no more mister. It was time to stop pouring whiskey in a love-sized hole. And I knew right from the start that the LA freeway ain't for the faint of heart. And kids understood that it can't be good to be broken down and lost in Hollywood.